Hello. Take a moment right now to just be here. If you are rushing, if your mind is racing to the next thing, I invite you to gently press pause. Unclench your jaw. Let your shoulders drop away from your ears. Take a deep breath in and a long, slow breath out. You are safe here. If you clicked on this video, I have a feeling that you know a very specific, very painful kind of anxiety. It isn't the anxiety of things going wrong. It is the anxiety of things going right. You know the feeling, don't you? You finally get the job you wanted. You finally meet someone who treats you with kindness and respect. You finally have a weekend with absolutely nothing to do but rest. And instead of feeling joy, you feel panic. You feel a tightness in your chest. You find yourself scanning the horizon, waiting for the disaster. You think, this is too good to be true. You think, when is the other shoe going to drop? And then, almost without thinking, you drop it yourself. Maybe you pick a fight with your partner over something that doesn't matter, just to break the tension. Maybe you procrastinate on the project you love until it becomes stressful. Maybe you withdraw, or you get sick, or you convince yourself that you don't actually want this happiness after all. You destroy the peace before the peace can destroy you. I want to speak directly to that part of you today. The part that feels like a wrecking ball in your own life. I want to tell you something that might be hard to believe, but it is the absolute truth. You are not broken. You are not crazy. And you are not destined to be unhappy. What you are experiencing is a limit. It is a safety setting in your nervous system. Imagine for a moment that your capacity for happiness is like a thermostat in a house. If you grew up in a home where things were chaotic, or where resources were scarce, or where love was conditional, your internal thermostat was set to a specific temperature. Let's say it was set to survival mode. Survival mode is chilly. It's uncomfortable, but it is familiar. You know how to navigate it. You know who you are when you are struggling. You know how to solve problems. You know how to fix things. But then something good happens. The temperature rises. You experience ease. You experience success. You experience deep, safe love. And suddenly the temperature in the house goes up to 75 degrees. To your conscious mind, this feels amazing. You think finally, this is what I've been waiting for. But to your subconscious mind, to that old protective part of your brain, this is a red alert. Your internal system says, warning, it is getting too hot in here. We don't know how to survive in this warmth. We are entering unknown territory. So what does the thermostat do? It kicks on the air conditioning. It cools the room back down to the temperature it recognizes. That air conditioning is what you call self-sabotage. You aren't ruining things because you want to be miserable. You are ruining things because you are trying to return to the baseline of safety that your nervous system recognizes. You are creating chaos because chaos feels like home. I want you to take a moment to really let that sink in. You are not fighting against your happiness. You are fighting against your familiarity. Think about the last time this happened to you. Maybe things were going really well with a friend, and suddenly you felt an urge to pull away or to say something sharp. In that moment, were you really angry? Or were you just scared of how vulnerable it felt to be that close? Happiness is vulnerable. Joy is vulnerable. When we are happy, we have something to lose. And for those of us who have lost a lot or who have been hurt deeply, the threat of loss is terrifying. It feels safer to break the glass ourselves than to wait for someone else to knock it over. But here is the good news. A thermostat can be adjusted. You can reset the temperature. You can teach your nervous system that it is safe to be warm. You can teach your body that calm is not a warning sign, but a destination. We are going to do that work today. We are going to look at why this limit exists and how we can gently, slowly expand your capacity for joy. We aren't going to force it. We aren't going to rush it. We are just going to stretch it little by little. I want you to try a small affirmation with me. You can whisper it or just think it in your mind. I am safe even when things are going well. I do not have to create a storm just to feel at home. Hold on to that feeling. In the next segment, we are going to explore the upper limit problem in more detail. We are going to look at the specific ways this shows up in your life, the hidden behaviors that you might not even realize are forms of sabotage. Because once you see the pattern, you can stop the cycle. Take another breath with me. Inhale slowly and let it go. We just talked about your internal thermostat and how it tries to cool things down when life gets too warm, too safe, or too happy. Now, I want to talk about how it actually does that. I want to talk about the sneaky and visible ways we lower the temperature. In psychology, there is a concept often called the upper limit problem. It is the idea that we all have a hidden threshold for how much positive emotion, success, or love we are willing to tolerate. When we hit that ceiling, we unconsciously do something to bring ourselves back down to a level of suffering we find familiar. And the tricky part, we rarely realize we are doing it. We usually blame it on the world. We think we just have bad luck. We think we are just stressed. Let us look at a few of the most common ways this upper limiting shows up in your daily life. See if any of these feel familiar to your heart. The first one is the shield of worry. Imagine you are having a beautiful, quiet afternoon. The sun is shining, your work is done, you feel physically healthy, and maybe you're sitting with someone you love. You feel a profound sense of peace. And then, out of nowhere, a terrifying thought drops into your mind. You suddenly remember an email you forgot to send, or you start worrying about a health symptom you noticed last week, or you imagine a future where the person sitting next to you gets hurt or leaves. Why does your brain do that? It isn't because the danger is real. It is because pure, unfiltered joy is the most vulnerable emotion a human being can experience. When you are standing in pure joy, you are completely undefended. Worry is your brain's way of putting armor back on. Your nervous system says this is too good. We need to prepare for the disaster. So you manufacture a problem to solve because solving problems feels safer than simply being happy. The second way we ruin things is through deflection and minimization. Think about the last time someone gave you a beautiful, genuine compliment, or the last time you achieved something you worked really hard for. Did you take a breath, look people in the eye, and let yourself feel proud? Or did you immediately brush it off? Did you say, "Oh, I just got lucky with that project. It wasn't a big deal"? When things go well, accepting that reality fully means we have to believe we are worthy of it. If deep down you hold a core belief that you are fundamentally flawed, success creates a painful friction in your mind. To fix that discomfort, you shrink the success. You push away the compliment. You convince yourself that the good thing wasn't actually earned. Because if you don't truly own it, it won't hurt as much if it gets taken away. And the third way, perhaps the most painful one, is creating distance in our closest relationships. This often happens when we finally meet someone who is actually good for us. Someone who is consistent, kind, and emotionally available. For a nervous system wired for chaos, this kind of healthy love feels incredibly boring. It feels flat. There are no extreme highs and lows. There is no chase. So when the intimacy gets too close, you hit your upper limit, and you subconsciously decide to introduce some chaos. You pick a fight over the dishes. You become highly critical of the way they speak or dress. You withdraw into silence and wait for them to chase you. You test them over and over again, secretly hoping they will prove your worst fear right, that everyone leaves eventually. It breaks my heart to even say these things because I know how much deep pain is underneath them. If you are recognizing yourself in these patterns, I need you to be so gentle with yourself right now. You do not do these things because you are a toxic person. You do them because a very young, very frightened part of you is trying to manage the absolute terror of being disappointed. You are operating on the survival logic that if you are already lying on the floor, you cannot fall out of bed. If you ruin the relationship, the job, or the peaceful afternoon first, at least you are the one in control of the destruction. But you are an adult now. You are no longer that helpless child who had to brace for impact. You have the capacity to hold joy without dropping it. I want you to repeat this softly to yourself, right where you are. I'm allowed to enjoy this moment without paying for it later. My happiness is not a trick. It takes immense courage to tolerate a good life. It is so much easier to stay in the familiar dark than to step out into the light and risk getting burned. But you are ready for the light. In our next segment, we are going to talk about exactly what to do when that familiar panic sets in. We are going to learn how to breathe through the physical discomfort of things going well, and how to gently expand your capacity for the beautiful life you actually deserve. So what do we do when that familiar panic sets in? When you are sitting in a moment of pure peace or intimacy or success, and suddenly your internal thermostat screams that it is too hot. How do we stop the sabotage before it starts? The first step is profound in its simplicity, but it takes immense practice. You have to learn to recognize the physical sensation of your upper limit. Because self-sabotage does not start as a conscious thought. It starts as a feeling in your body. It starts as a sudden, inexplicable tightness in your chest. It starts as an agitated energy in your hands, an urge to move, to fix, to create a problem so you can solve it. It feels like a drop in your stomach when someone looks at you with genuine, uncomplicated love. Your body is reacting to joy as if it were a predator. When you feel that sensation rising, when you feel the sudden urge to pick a fight with your partner, or to close your laptop and ignore the project you are succeeding at, or to say something self-deprecating to deflect a compliment, I want you to stop. Just stop. Do not send the text message. Do not make the sarcastic joke. Do not physically pull away. You are at the threshold. This is the exact moment where your old survival wiring is asking you to burn the house down so you can feel the familiar, predictable warmth of the fire. Instead of lighting the match, I want you to sit in the discomfort of the good thing. I want you to realize that the anxiety you are feeling is not a premonition of the future. It is an echo from your past. It is a ghost. Your nervous system is confused. It is interpreting the vulnerability of happiness as a threat because once upon a time it was. Once upon a time, trusting a good thing got you hurt, but you are not there anymore. I want you to practice something called titration. In chemistry, titration is when you add a tiny microscopic drop of a new substance to a solution to see how it reacts before adding more. We are going to titrate your joy. When things are going well and the panic hits, you do not have to force yourself to feel 100% joyful. That is too much pressure. Instead, I want you to see if you can tolerate the good feeling for just 10 more seconds. Just 10 seconds. Breathe into the tight space in your chest. Tell your body, out loud if you have to, that you are safe. Say, I hear that you are scared. I know this feels unfamiliar, but we are not in danger. We are just happy. Let the 10 seconds pass. And then, if you need to distract yourself or step into the other room to regulate, that is perfectly okay. But you stretched the muscle. You expanded your capacity to hold joy by just a fraction of an inch. And tomorrow maybe you can hold it for 20 seconds. This is how healing happens. Not in massive, sweeping overnight transformations, but in the tiny, quiet moments where you choose not to act on your fear, where you choose to let the compliment land, where you choose to let the peaceful afternoon just be peaceful without inventing a crisis. It is going to feel incredibly strange at first. When you stop creating chaos, your life might suddenly feel a little boring. You might mistake peace for emptiness. Because when you are used to riding a roller coaster, standing on solid ground feels like you aren't moving at all. But solid ground is where you build a life. A roller coaster is just something you survive. I want you to close your eyes for a moment if it feels safe to do so. I want you to imagine holding something fragile and beautiful in your hands. Maybe it is a glass ornament, or a tiny bird, or a delicate flower. That is your joy. Your old instinct is to crush it, just to get the suspense over with. But I want you to imagine just keeping your hands open, letting it rest there, watching it without needing to control it or destroy it, or even understand it perfectly. Just let it be beautiful. I want you to whisper this affirmation to yourself. I am expanding my capacity for a good life. It is safe for me to let things be easy. Hold that openness. In our final segment, we are going to talk about the grief that sometimes comes with healing this pattern, and how to finally forgive yourself for the things you sabotaged in the past. Because to move forward, we have to gently release the guilt of what we broke when we were just trying to survive. As you start to expand this capacity, as you bravely practice holding the good things without dropping them, something unexpected is going to happen. You might find yourself sitting in that peaceful afternoon, finally feeling safe, and suddenly a profound wave of sadness washes over you. This is the grief of awakening. When you finally step out of the chaos and realize that you are allowed to have a beautiful, quiet life, you inevitably look back at the past. You look back at the relationships you pushed away. You look back at the jobs you quit, the opportunities you sabotaged, the years you spent churning in unnecessary anxiety. You look at the wreckage and the guilt can feel unbearable. You think, look at all the things I broke. Look at how much time I wasted. Why couldn't I just be happy? If you are carrying that heavy, aching guilt right now, I need you to lean in and listen to me very carefully. Do not turn your grief into a new form of self-sabotage. Do not use your past mistakes as evidence that you do not deserve this present peace. I want you to imagine the past version of yourself, the one who started the fights, the one who ran away, the one who dropped the glass. I want you to look at them not with judgment, but with profound compassion. That version of you was not stupid. That version of you was not broken. That version of you was a survivor operating a nervous system that was absolutely convinced it was in a burning building. When you are in a burning building, you do not sit down and admire the furniture. You smash the windows. You break down the doors. You do whatever it takes to get out because your only goal is survival. For a long time, your brain believed that intimacy was a burning building. It believed that success was a burning building. It believed that joy was a trap. So you broke the windows. You ran. You did exactly what you were wired to do to protect yourself from what you believed was an inevitable, devastating pain. You cannot hate yourself for surviving. You cannot shame yourself for the protective armor you had to wear when you felt completely defenseless in the world. That armor kept you alive. It got you here. It got you to this exact moment, watching this video, finally ready to put the heavy metal down. I want you to place a hand over your heart right now. Feel the steady rhythm of it. That heart has been working so hard to protect you for so many years. I want you to offer that past version of yourself a deep, sweeping forgiveness. You can say it out loud or just let the words echo in your mind. I forgive you for breaking things when you were scared. I release the guilt of the survival mechanisms that kept me alive. It is safe to put the armor down now. Let that forgiveness settle into your bones. It is the final, most crucial step in resetting your internal thermostat. You cannot welcome a new, beautiful life if your hands are still full of ashes from the old one. Healing is not about becoming a perfect person who never feels anxious and never makes a mistake. Healing is simply the practice of recognizing when you are reaching for the wrecking ball and choosing, just for today, to leave it on the ground. It is the quiet, courageous choice to let yourself be loved even when you are terrified they will leave. It is the choice to enjoy the peaceful afternoon, even if it rains tomorrow. It is the choice to believe that you are finally, truly allowed to have a good life, because you are. You have always been worthy of the warmth. You just had to learn how to stop turning on the cold air. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for doing this heavy, beautiful work and for allowing this space to be a part of your healing therapy. It takes a massive amount of bravery to look at our own shadows, and I am so proud of you for staying. If you felt a shift today, if you recognized yourself in these words, I would love for you to leave a comment below. Tell me one good thing in your life right now that you are choosing not to sabotage. Let's celebrate that courage together as a community. Be so gentle with yourself this week. You are building something beautiful, and beautiful things take time. I will see you soon.